Hey guys, what's up? How you doing? Um, per the request of a subscriber, asking like about my perception on matching energy or not matching energy. Um, y'all know the saying, fighting fire with fire, right? Um, I don't really like that saying, me particularly, because, I feel like, if I'm trying to be positive, why would I want to match the energy of somebody that's negative? Like, that's not my intent. That's not my goal or my objective. My objective is to be positive so that I can get a particular positive result. So if I match their negative, toxic energy, you know what I'm saying? I'm stooping to a lower level. But this is where like society likes to be like, be the bigger person. I mean, there's going to be times where you might mess around and match energy because, some people get tired of being a bigger person. I feel like that's how abusers are abusers. Because they'll tell the victim, be the bigger person. That's just how they are. No, absolutely not, sir, ma'am. No, absolutely not. If you want to be negative, you have the free will to be negative. Just like I have the free will to be positive. So, it's about like equal and opposite forces. So, when somebody's being negative, that's when you got to fight real, real hard to stay positive because misery loves company. You know what I'm saying? So when they say fight fire with fire, to me, logically, it makes no sense because, fire cannot harm fire because it's literally the same element. Now, what can harm fire would be a fire extinguisher. Why? Because it's extinguishing the fire. Earth, dirt. Dirt can put a fire out. Water can put a fire out, depending on the type of fire, right? And then technically air can put fire out, create a vacuum and take out all the oxygen. Because all you got to do is like air can create a tight vacuum, and without the oxygen being there, well, the fire is going to die down or, just be extinguished altogether. So literally, that's what balance is. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting because I would love to show y'all that chart because I love anime. So I was up here looking at an anime chart about like the different chakras and the different earth elements and things that went into each chakra nature and things like that. And it just gave me this idea of like, wow, there's really truly balance. Like, for example, if I was to have a superpower, right, I would love electrical abilities, right? That's me. Because it doesn't matter what TV show or what movie I watch, anime, whatever, if you got electrical abilities like Static Shock, like Killua in Hunter x Hunter, in like Big Trouble Little China, you had the dude with the straw hat, but he had the electric powers. I really don't care if you're a villain. And I don't care if you're the hero. You dope as hell to me because you got electrical abilities. Like Raiden on Mortal Kombat. He got electrical abilities. He's not my favorite, but I do like him because of his electrical abilities though. But you know what I'm saying? Like electricity is just, I don't know. I would say that that's an element for me because I just think that's awesome. That's why I always like Storm from X-Men. Because when she get to like, levitating or flying, whichever one you want to call it, and you see that lightning in the background and her fingers and all that, I'm like, yeah, Storm dope as hell. Like, I like Storm. But yeah, I'm just saying like everything has balance. So personally, like they say, iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? That's like, basically being with like-minded people, right? But for me personally, matching energy with people, it can be draining. It can be exhausting because, it's requiring, like, I would rather, like, if somebody says something slick, right? I will pause And I'll be like, do I want to stir the pot? Do I want to get slick at the mouth? Do I want to run them the energy back? Because I know me. I know how strong I am. And when I say strong, I just mean I know as a high vibrational person, my mind is just, I think outside the box. And they will really, I will really hit somebody where they didn't expect to get hit. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't mean physically. It just means I will psychologically just give them a good, it's like, think of a samurai movie, how when they just open up and they pulled a sword out by the inch, but they didn't pull it in that quick span of a time, they didn't cut you. Probably several damn times. And you're like, wait a minute, all I saw, I didn't even see you pull your sword out your sheath. Exactly. That is how fast I can strike. And you ain't gonna feel the pain of my words until, a little later. So I be like, I know the power of words. I know that I'm not trying to harm anybody or hurt nobody, but at the same time, there are some people out here who just want to continually test you and test you and test with you. You know what I'm saying? That, well, you've been warned. Hey, stop that. Hey, you better leave me alone. Hey. All right. You want to keep on? Okay. It's just like a child. When you tell them that the stove is hot and they keep ignoring you like you don't know what you're talking about until they put their little hand on that stove and they get burnt. Now they know what hot means. And they also associate hot with pain. And I know this because I was that child that put my hand on the stove and it took me getting burnt to realize, oh, that's what hot means. That's what hot is. Oh, hot is pain. You know what I'm saying? So some people out there, they have to learn through experience what pain is. And if they don't want to feel that pain again, they will stop. And it's sad because you would think that they would get the concept of like what stop means. Stop means don't keep going. It means be still. You know what I'm saying? But some people will, hey, it's just like people running red lights. You know what I'm saying? They could end up causing a car crash in an intersection and they don't care because they are laser focused on themselves and where they're going, that they're so inconsiderate that there are other people out here who are also trying to get somewhere, but they are following, the law. You know what I'm saying? So, I would just say at your own discretion, figure that out, because at the end of the day, kind people get tired and you'll see how unkind they can become. Sweet people can be sweet until they're not sweet. And then it's going to be a bittersweet. You know what I'm saying? People will, like you until, they cross that line with you and then you check them. But see, I also am a believer in when it comes to your boundaries, if you've communicated your boundaries to somebody and they purposely cross that line, they deserve to get cut up. They deserve to get checked harder than a Nike because you knew better. Now, someone, that you don't know from a can of paint, a complete stranger, that's different. I would give them grace because they don't know me. So therefore, because they don't know me, they don't know what would trigger me or make me, clap back, or, they wouldn't even know what my boundary is until I say, hey, that's a boundary, back it up. You know what I'm saying? Put your foot behind the gun line. Otherwise, you get your toe blown off like in Harlem Nights. And that is so wrong. Like, let me tell y'all about some movie scenes that, even though they are quote unquote violent, I absolutely can't help but laugh. Because I am a strong believer in when somebody warns you to stop, back up. If you do not heed that warning, what happens to you happens to you. That on Harlem Nights when Eddie Murphy got in a fight with that big girl and she threw him into them trash cans and stuff. And he pulled that gun out. I was like, hey, you better stop. I'll blow your toe off. She wanted to keep on. Like, I get it. She was riled up. She was mad. And she was up there, come here, you punk. She ready to knock him out. He was like, nah, you ain't knocking me out, bitch. Pow! Blew her toe off. And she was like, ooh, you motherfucker, you. That scene is absolutely hilarious to me. Another scene that I absolutely find funny in Star Wars 3, where Anakin and Obi-Wan, they are fighting. Obi-Wan was like, Anakin, don't do it, because Obi-Wan had the higher ground. Anakin was at lower ground. Anakin got beside himself because he went to the dark side and all that, right? I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Remember, Obi-Wan is the one who trained Anakin. So if he trained you, my boy, you need to take heed to your teacher. He said, stop. You better stop, because he gonna mess you up. Anakin called himself trying to flip from lower ground. Oh my God. When Obi-Wan went swipe with his with his sword, Anakin already lost the arm when he fought the dark Sith or the Sith Lord or whatever, right? So you already walking around with one mechanical arm. Now you missing both your legs and your other arm. And not only that, but you landed right by the damn lava. Now you caught on fire, and now you a tin can respirator machine. Like, literally, that's why he ends up wearing that dark suit, because, he got burnt up. He's nothing but a torso, basically. I laugh my butt off every time, because I'm a strong believer in fuck around and find out. And Anakin messed around and found out, lost his limbs, and, you know what I'm saying, just dumb, in my opinion. And, I just feel like, when somebody, lets you know, hey, don't get knocked out, and then they keep doing it, and they get, like, I'm going to give y'all an example. I don't know if y'all remember or if y'all heard about the story, but I call it the bus driver uppercut. There was a bus driver in Ohio. I think it was Cincinnati, Ohio. This was back in it's between 2013, 2016. This lady went up to this bus driver, was just antagonizing him, provoking him. He's driving the bus. She's slapping him in the back of the head, spit on him. Spit is assault by itself. That's highly disrespectful. That man pulled that bus over and just uppercutted her. Boom, in the chin, glass jaw, she dropped. Now, I'm not condoning a man putting his hands on a woman, but I'm a strong believer in, you spit on him, you was hitting him and all of this, yelling and cursing him, do it, test me, try me. He uppercutted your ass. I bet you she won't put her hands on nobody else unless she want to be. I mean, it's kind of like, I would think that if she popped off at the mouth, she would just instantly think like, dang, I remember I got uppercutted. Let me shut up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a strong believer in, when you do things, you get what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was absolutely, and then it was crazy. She went to the news people, and she's up there playing professional victim. He hit me. I don't know why he hit me. But then the camera footage on the bus showed everything she did. So then when the news reporter addressed her, like, this is you. Why did you spit on this man? Why were you hitting and slapping him? Why were you taunting him and this, that, and the third? She didn't have nothing to say. She looked super dumb. So, I'm a strong believer in, mess around and find out. And, I'm a strong believer in, keep your hands to yourself. In other words, like, I feel like when it comes to people putting their hands on each other, look, the number one rule that everybody was taught in preschool, keep your hands to yourself. So now you a grown man, grown woman, you out here putting your hands on other people. Well, when you get done up, rock 'em, sock 'em, bop 'em out here, and you got a big old knot on your forehead, black eye, busted lip, whatever. I mean, you can't be mad. You can't be mad. That's all I'm going to say. So that's just my perspective on matching energy. I don't recommend it because, it's exhausting, it's draining. It's like playing games with somebody, and it's just a game that you're not interested in playing. So I wouldn't even bother playing. But they think because you're not interested in playing the game that, you a punk, or, you are a pushover. And that's when you got to show them that you got a backbone. That's when you got to show them like, oh, it's on and popping now. You can get slick at the tongue too. You can get out here and get down and dirty too. Then all of a sudden, when you get to their level and you give them that thunder, all of a sudden they want to play professional victim out here. But the whole time they was up there provoking, taunting, teasing, bullying. They was doing all of that. And now when you got to their level, you start putting them in their place, their feelings is hurt. Woe is me, I'm a victim. That's why I don't like matching energy, because those same people, when you keep poking the bear, when that bear like slashes you across your belly and starts eating you alive, you provoked it. So anyways, y'all be good. That's my perspective. I wouldn't match energy. It's exhausting. It's tiring. Me personally, I have better things to do. Goals to focus on, hobbies, you know what I'm saying? So I just really be minding my business. But it seems like when you mind your business, that's when people want to mess with you the most. And that's when you just got to let them know, like, hey, I'm a strong believer in minding my business. And I was unbothered until I got bothered. Okay? That is my thing. So anyways, y'all be good out there. Be safe. Don't let people trigger you or get you caught up, because, people will provoke you. They will challenge you. They will do what it takes to pull you out of character. And I want you to realize that's not the person. It is the actual spirit operated in that person that is trying to provoke you to anger and to wrath, and to try to get you, to do something irrational and like ruin your life, for you to end up in jail or prison, or, you know what I'm saying? So just be wary that just because somebody comes up to you and they say something, they do something, you might not be really dealing with that individual. You're dealing and talking to the spirit that resides or has that person's vessel as a residence. We deal with spirits out here. We're not always dealing with the person. All right. So, all right. Peace.